Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy Franklin here, and today I'm going to be showcasing a tournament replay that I recently joined about 2 days ago, and I did pretty good in this tournament. I actually joined a random battle tournament off of the tournament forum on the Pokemon Showdown server, and just for fun because I've been missing out on the actual official meta games, so I wanted to try something, something new, something fun, something that could give me a brain tumor. But anyways, we're playing randoms. There were 102 people that joined this tournament apparently, so it takes 7 rounds to win it all, 6 to make it to semifinals, and 6 is the key number that I needed just to get points, because obviously the points for the global leader, or monthly I should say, is the one that I'm trying to aim. So round 1, we're going against somebody random, and it's just random mons. If you guys have known random battles, it's probably one of the first games you'll ever play if you start a Pokemon Showdown account. You hop on a ladder and play against random people, against random Pokemon. It could be anything. But anyways, let's get right to it. So round 1, I lead off with the Swanna because that's what they gave me. I go for the Scald even though I have the Brave Bird and I'm Life Orb, but I just wanted to see if he was going to switch out. So I just go into my Cryogonal and yeah, starts firing off the Sea Flare. The Shaman's starting to become annoying. It's a bit fat. So I go for the Freeze Dry. It's a crit. Doesn't matter because I'll still break the sub anyways. He misses the Sea Flare unfortunately. And we both gain our leftovers. Goes into the Shuckle and I go for the Freeze Dry here. And fortunately for me, I get to freeze it. So I go into the Excavalier because that Iron Head is looking juicy right now. But unfortunately, he has the Volcanion, and I go for the Iron Head. That's about 8%, absolutely nothing. No switch-ins for this, so I have to go into my Keldeo here, and Keldeo is going to be a key player here. So I go for the Calm Mind here, and he goes for the Superpower. Does about 30. The next one isn't going to do too much unless he crits me. But here I go, fire the Sacred Sword, and woo! That boy is gone. That little Ninetales just exploded. Now he's going to go into the Shuckle. But I don't want to Scald to unfreeze the Shuckle, so I go for another Calm Mind here. And at +2 with Life Orb, it should be able to knock it out, and it does. So I don't have to worry about Sticky Webs or Stealth Rocks. Next is going to the Zapdos. I fire off the Scald here, and does 93%. I burn the Zapdos. I lose out on the Life Orb damage. But luckily with the Hail and Burn, the Zapdos isn't going to live that long. Fire off the Freeze Dry to just cripple the Zapdos and knocks it out. And my Cryogonal looks kind of good right now. So the Volcanion comes in. I go for the Toxic just in case. Goes for the Superpower, knocks me out. Smart play on his part, probably expecting to switch in. I go for the Lunala, and it's pretty much going to be game because I'm just going to get my +1. And because of my ability of Shadow Shield, I just don't take that much damage if I'm at full. Switches on to the Torterra. I get the Calm Mind boost second time. And this should be game at this point because none of his Pokemon will be able to knock me out. So that did 81 to a Torterra. Stone Edge does absolutely nothing. He gets a little bit leftovers. I do as well. I go for the Psyshock and I'm back at full. Almost by 1%. Going to the Shaman. Shaman goes for sub. Doesn't really matter because I still have a bunch of Moongeist Beams and Psyshocks. So doesn't really matter. And I'm at full again. Officially. I go for the Psyshock here just to preserve the Moongeist Beam. Gets more leftovers, but he's just subbing up for no reason. I mean, this game is pretty much over. So, looking at the HP of Shaman, does not have enough to get another substitute up. I fire off the Moongeist Beam, knock that out, and now in comes this Volcanion, but unfortunately, he just forfeits. So, awesome. Round 1, randoms. Pretty cool. So, anyways, on to round 2. Again, randoms, you know the dealio. So, I lead off. He leads off with the Politoed along with the Purugly. And this Politoed has Protect of all things. So I go for the Fake Out and they don't get it off. And so going to the Sableye here. I go for the knockoff expecting some random switch. As I kind of do. I switch out on the off chance the Sableye has Prankster Will-O-Wisp, which he did. And Sylveon is ready to go. And I'm just going to fire off a Hyper Voice and does about 36. Not too shabby. I'm still at kind of a good healthy status right now. And I'm going to go for another Hyper Voice, and this Politoed's looking damaged. And knocking out Polytone and Sable are going to be keys in this battle. Goes for the Durant. I go for the Wish here. Now, I don't really have much of a switch into this, so I go for my Clawitzer here. Goes for the Hone Claws. And goes for Superpower and just knocks me out. Like, holy crap, I think I might actually lose to this. And it's Life Orb too. So I go into the Sylveon here. I go for the knockoff. Ha! But you thought! It's a Zoroark. Haha! So, switches down to the Amamola. I'm like, oh my god, more fat, annoying Pokemon. Jesus Christ. Go to my Sylveon, of course. Goes for the Scald. Doesn't do too much. Because of my leftovers, the burn does damage, doesn't rack up that much. Goes for the Wish. I go for the Hyper Voice. That's 50%. Good lord. Now, I was thinking about switching out here just to catch this Mola off guard. But, it goes for the Protect. I just like, I'm going to stay in. It's pretty early in the match anyways. And I'm already down by one Pokemon. Go into another fat Pokemon that is Snorlax, and I go for a Wish here. Now, I'm going to go into my Pro Ugly here. I'm going for expecting him to go Body Slam. Get all my HP back. I'm going to switch out to the Sableye. Go for the knockoff here, and the Sableye is starting to get weakened and weakened, layer by layer. Goes to Mega Sableye, goes for the recovery here. Kind of a interesting scenario here as I go for a Wish here. And I'm still doing okay. Oh, now this Dragonite here. Ooh, this Dragonite is going to be a problem. Going to the Mega Sableye, you know what? I'm just going to Dragon Dance here. I'm going to Dragon Dance again, because I do have the Lumberry. Misses the Will-O-Wisp, and so you know what? I'm like, I'm going to do it again. +3 in lab. Boy, I have a Lumberry here. I go for the Outrage, because I wasn't sure if Earthquake was going to knock it out. So I go for that. Goes for the Protect here. I'm going to get the Outrage going here. Go into the Politoed here. And Outrage comes through, and it just knock out the Politoed, and it's like, oh, baby. Goes for the Protect here. I go for another Outrage. Now, the reason why Outrage has been successful 4 times is because of the Protects. I get her in confusion, unfortunately. He tries to burn me and doesn't let that happen. I go for Outrage again. Ooh, we knocking out the fat babies out here. Going to the Snorlax here. My confusion ends on a perfect time because this Snorlax is annoying and I just knock it out the park. Baby bat. Woo. Going to the Sock. And so I'm going to switch out into my Zoroark here. Goes for the bulk up. I go for the knockoff here so I can knock out its leftovers. Goes for the Earthquake, knocks me out. Completely fine by me. I got the Gardevoir here. Now, I could have just Mega Evolved here because I would have taken this, but I wanted to keep the Sturdy just in case. I didn't realize the damage count. I go for the Hyper Voice here, knock out the Sock! And now the Durant is all that's left. Unfortunately for me, I got the Perugly with Fake Out, and the Dragonite also knows Extreme Speed, so I can pick it off. So, interesting battle. I could have lost to the Durant, honestly, but here we are. Now, on to round 3. He leads up with the Thundurus, and I know the Blastoise. Thundurus is always bad news bears for me. The Thundurus is going to get the Nasty Plot. Goes for a sub here, and you know what? I'm just going to go for the Flare Blitz, and Flare Blitz is pretty powerful. He's going to go for another sub again. I don't know why he just kept doing this. I'm going to Flare Blitz here. And going to get his leftovers, whatever. He's going to get a sub up again. I'm going to go for a Flare Blitz. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing, bro? I think he does it one more time. And I get the Flare Blitz going. But he doesn't realize that I have the Sucker Punch. And I predict that. Woo-hoo-hoo! Knock that boy out. The Kingler comes in. I'm like, oh, crap. This Kingler is kind of a big threat against my team. Look, it did 35 to a Blastoise. Jesus. So, I go into the Blastoise, I Mega Evolve, Dark Pulse to Dialga, that's 40%, my goodness gracious. Gets the Stealth Rock, so it doesn't matter, got the Aura Sphere, and I'm gonna be able to knock that big boy off. Looking pretty good so far. We get the Lowland Muck coming over here, as it goes with a Nasty Plot. And so, I believe this LB is gonna Earth Power here. I live that, because I'm pretty special defensive. I get the knockoff going here, and get rid of that LB's leftovers, so no passive recovery for you. Go for the Shadow Sling just to chip it off. And luckily we get the poison going here. So now the Celebi is looking pretty weakened. And now Primate comes in. I'm faster, of course. Got the damn Ninja here. Close combat doesn't do nothing. I'm going to go into the Blastoise here. As he goes back into Celebi, which is a good play on his part. I go into the Emboar here. And go for the Giga Drain. But look, Mike, I got the end board. Go for the recovery here. Go for the wild charge, expecting to switch into Kingler. That's why I did that. Go for the earth power here. It crits me, unfortunately, because this flare blitz is going to do enough just to knock out the Celebi, but it knocks me out as well. So now he goes to Ninja. I got the Blastoise on deck. I got the Dark Pulse, man. I'm going to Dark Pulse this thing here, too. Obviously, it has Focus Sash. X Scissor does a bit too much to the point where a Shadow Sneak does not knock me out. This thing just dies, of course, because it's Ninja. Primeape and Kingler are all that's left. Now, because it's U-turn Primeape, I know that it's Choice Scarf, so I have to be relatively careful. Now, the Azu is an interesting scenario that I have here. It is the Azu. Now, the player does absolutely nothing. I liquidate there. He liquidates there. And now, you know what? I'm going to get all my HP back and cut my boy in half because that's how the game is. Unfortunately, I don't have Aqua Jet, so I kind of have to just go into random moves like Superpower and just knock out this Kingler. And now, it all comes down to Scarf Primeape. What does he do here? Close combats, so that's good. Meaning that I can go into my non-Scarf Primeape and hopefully that I live. My opponent says GG because he realizes that, yeah, it's not going to knock it out. But my -2, it just knocks out the Primeape. Mirror match. We win those. Whew. So far, so good. Now on to round 4. So, Pyroar versus Luxray. I could have clicked Sunny Day here, but I decided to go for the Hybrid Voice. Just needed damage automatically. Goes for the Superpower here, and this is a Guts Luxray. Pretty awesome, pretty awesome. Goes into the Stormy here. I'm a Fire Blast here. It doesn't really matter. I did a lot, by the way. Like, Jesus Christ. Gonna go into Mew because the Stormy can't really do too much to me. And this is a more of a utility Mew than an offensive Mew. Goes to the Weavile. I get the Rocks up, so now I'm putting my opponent's switches on a timer. Knocks me out because I was like, you know what? I don't need the Mew anymore. Haha, I don't need it. Crook comes in, and yeah, looking like he's about to fuck the club up. And I'm gonna fire off a nasty Earthquake and just put this boy up to bed. Now I go into the Steelix, and I'm like, you know what? I gotta get rid of the Steelix. I don't want it to be too much of a problematic monster here. Woo! Does 63. That defense is beefy. Gonna go into my Scrafty here, and unfortunately he's gonna get the Rocks up, which I didn't really want that. I'm gonna go for the Drain Punch here, and I get my +1. Raichu comes in, and luckily for me, Focus Blast, I live it. Go for the knockoff, knock out that boy, the fast boy that is Raichu. I'm at +2. But because I am pretty slow, Stormy's gonna be able to kill me. And I'm gonna go into my Crook. I got that knockoff. Boom, homie! I knock out that Starmie out. Had leftovers, of course, and I'm at +1. Gonna go into the Weavile here, knowing that I need this mon to outspeed the Weavile. I'm gonna knock out my own Pyroar because the Rocks goes from knockoff here. I'm gonna go back into my Crook here, and I'm gonna fire off this Earthquake, crits it, which I'm not sure that really mattered, but I'm at +1 now. And just forfeits. So, whew, pretty fast. 14 turn battle. Now we're on to the Elite 8. I mean, there's only 8 players remaining. And here we go. Going to Rayquaza. Yeah, how fair is this matchup? I'm going to get +1 because I know the Delmas cannot knock me out unless it's Choice Banded, like, Stone Edge. Regardless, I'm going to go into the V-Create and knock that boy out. So, pretty good start so far. I'm at +1 attack. Florges comes in, and I'm going to fire off another V-Create, and it supposedly did 100. You saw that, right? But it lived on 1 HP. Like, come on, man. Come on, man. I didn't realize that till now. Kingdra comes in, and you know what? I'm just going to Waterfall because this Florges is going to be a fat problem. And so now he goes to the Lurantis. Lurantis is kind of a problem against my team as well. Goes for the Leaf Storm, that's 29. My goodness. And so now I fire off the Toxic. I was hoping I don't miss. I don't, so whew, thank goodness. Now we're going to start chipping away at this Lurantis. And it's Assault Vest, so usually they are. Misses the Leaf Storm, thank goodness. That means we can start racking up damage on this. Gonna go for another Foul Play, and goes for another Leaf Storm. Now it's at +4. It's like, oh, it's a problem, But it's weakened, so we're good. Victory Bell comes in, I knock this boy off. Of course, it had the Assault Vest, like I predicted it. Now, this Victory Bell is about to get me the cleanest win ever. So I go for Sleep Powder here because Dusknoir is fat. And he goes to the Bisharp. I'm going to go for the Sword SD right here. And boy, I'm going to fire off the Bloom Doom. And almost knocks out the Bisharp. Like, ooh, my goodness. Goes for the knockoff. It's life for me knocked itself out. So, oh, Tapu Fini? Hey, no, ain't no worries about me here. Does 18%. I'm gonna go for the Power Whip and just knock that Tapu Fini out. Last but not least is the Dusknoir. First me is realizes, hey, I have a Z move. Yeah, I just used it. Knock out the Dusknoir's leftovers, and I win here. Probably went for the Shadow Sneak. Don't matter, I got the big boy knockoff here. So we are on to the semifinals. This is my primary goal, just reaching semis because that's where all the points are earned. And so now, my next opponent is Young, Dumb, and Woke. Now, I didn't even realize this during the match because Young, Dumb, and Woke is actually a pretty good ladder player, apparently. And I remember seeing him play a couple times on the OU ladder. This guy knows what he's doing. It's like my first opponent that I recognize. He probably doesn't recognize me, of course, because I am Venom. But he's a pretty good battler. But anyways, let's get to it. Hitmonchan, Shiram. I'm gonna switch out because I expect the Fire Punch to come in. Latias comes in, and now I could hit the Draco, but it's like, I'm going for a side shot for a safe play, and he doesn't. Now, if I would have hit Draco that weave, I probably would have dropped dead. Go for Diancie here, does 37. Not too shabby. And so he goes with the Dugong, and I'm going to go for the Reflect here. He goes for Surf here, and I'm just going to get my Light Scream Mutt here. Going to go back into Chirim. He goes for the Encore, and he's going to go for the Protect, and I'm going to go for the Sunny Day. And Shiram is making him kind of happy. Gonna fire off the Solar Beam, so he can't do bullshit to me. That's 21. Light Screen, awesome. Gonna go for the Protect here. I'm gonna fire off the Solar Beam again. Protects his lucky ass. But I can fire off the Solar Beam again. Fails to Protect. Get the Solar Beam off. Boom! Dude, gone is gone. Gonna go into Hitmonchan. Now I could have fired off the Solar Beam because it pretty much would have done more damage, but I couldn't, and he crits me. Sad face. Gonna go into Mega Latias. I go for the Ribombee. I go for the Draco predicting the Weavile, and I was like, oh, this is pretty much over because my team cannot deal with Ribombee. Like, what the heck? Nor Weavile. At this point, I'm pretty much just trying to punish my opponent. I get the crit on Hitmonchan. Whatever. Suicune comes in, and I'm like, oh boy. Come on, man. So, I am able to get over Suicune eventually. I taunt the Suicune, I Poison Jab the Suicune here. I'm Life Orb, so unfortunately he's going to scald me away to kill me. Now, my next mon, I'm going to go into Togedemaru. I do go to Zing Zap here, and unfortunately, he burns me right here. So, I can't really do too much against his team now, and Togedemaru isn't Scarfed. If it was Scarfed, Togedemaru, I might have had a chance. Might have a chance. Big might. Because if a Scarf, Ironhead Scarf would have knocked out his team. And so, I knock out the Suicune, which is pretty cool, and the King comes in. I'm like, oh my god, how many setup mons do you have? Goes for the return here, that's 58. I got the high jump kick right here. Boom! Knock that boy out. But unfortunately, because since my team is weakened and I am slow as hell, this Ribombee is able to knock me out with the Moonblast. I go into my Mega Latias hoping that I can live this, and I actually do because I'm fat. Side Shock does 60%, but if it was a crit, actually maybe I got a chance. But unfortunately, I can't do anything to this Ribombee. It's too fast, too powerful. And there goes the other Moonblast there. And it's a close game, but unfortunately, I lose this one out because of my incompetence of getting a Scarfer throughout this tournament. But anyways, we ended up losing the semifinals, but we get 3 points, which means I am number 4 on the leaderboards for the month, which is crazy. Like, number 4, like, are you kidding me? But anyways, it was pretty fun tournament. Kind of sucked that I didn't have a Scarfer at all in this tournament, but regardless, this is what it is. Random, anything can go. So pretty proud. 4th place or semi-final finish in random battle. So anyways, it's your boy Franklin. Hope you guys enjoy your weekend, and signing out. Peace.